How's the defense looking through 2 practices?
I thought practice 1, we were not in pads. So, but I thought they did a good job. Got lined up, moved around, communicated well, looked better. On Saturday, practice number 2, wasn't super pleased with it. And it's nothing to do with the result of the play. We're just, right now, we have to have a major stress on the violence we play with, the physicality we play with, the effort to finish the ball, because if we don't have those things, we don't have anything. So schematically, all those things will correct that, but we have to take it upon ourselves to really make an emphasis to be violent and have a ton of effort this spring.
Doing the live reps, the practice we saw, you guys kind of had 2 sets going at once. How I don't remember that happening a lot around here before. How beneficial is that? I'm sure for you got to go back and watch twice as much film, but how much to get double the reps for these guys in spring like that? How beneficial is that?
No, I think it's huge, and I think you'd have to talk to Coach Danielson, I think, but I think that how he's got it structured right now, really like the 1s and the 2s, they're getting the same amount that they normally would, but it's the next few groups, everybody else is now getting the same amount of reps instead of, you got new guys that get on campus and they're with the 3s or the 4s early and they're only getting 4 or 5 reps of practice. Now everybody's getting that 22 to 25 reps in practice. So I think that's going to be huge for the development of the newer guys / young guys.
Or was that just like for the first couple of practices?
I think he wants to continue it. Obviously, the head coach makes that decision, but I think he wants to continue it as long as we can stay healthy.
Last year, and it's only March, obviously, still a lot of football left till we get to fall. But what is stand out about this group specifically on defense so far through 2 practices?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's a fun time period because the last few years there's been a lot of continuity in some of the guys that are, they're going to be the quote unquote starters and maybe even the key reserves. This year, there's just a ton of new faces, first level, second level, third level. So that's been really good to kind of get all these new faces, learn them a little bit, and then watch these guys grow. So we're not going to know kind of what we have and who needs to be in what seat until we get through scrimmage 2, maybe even farther. So I think that's the fun part. I really like their attention to detail. I like their willingness to want to do things right. That's been very apparent. Their attention to detail has been really good. Now, I'm not saying we don't make mistakes and those kind of things, but they really want to do things right.
What's different for you? You mentioned last year there were a lot of returning starters on defense.
Mm-hmm.
This year, not many faces that are back from last year. So what's different for you and the coaching staff when you have a team where there's so much that's open?
Yeah, I think that there's a few things. I mean, obviously, we're learning just like the players are every single day. But when you have new faces, it's kind of what is this group going to do really well? How can they handle? Are they a group that's going to handle a ton of install? Is it going to be a group that you got to keep the install pretty light until they know what's going on? And either one's okay. We just got to kind of learn this group a little bit better and how they handle things. But it'll be interesting to see the last couple of years. I felt like our group was kind of better when we played aggressive defense, when we were pressuring people and playing tight coverage. And we'll see if that continues, or maybe this group's a little different. Maybe this group's a 4-man rush and playing some zone stuff. But that's kind of the fun part for me, is figuring this new group out.
Speaking of fun, what's it like not having a position and the way it all kind of worked out, with getting Frank as, full-time D-line coach and bringing in Terrence that can do both? I mean, how do you like the structure of things?
Yeah, I like it. Obviously, because we got really good football coaches. I like the DBs, with the ability to either be together or split up. So there's some continuity back there and just kind of the verbiage and the communication piece. Some days I wish I was a little more hands-on, but it does allow me to go in, ask those guys, hey, who needs help with an individual drill, or who wants to give me one if you want to have more drills going on at once. If there's somebody that's struggling, I can take them in my office and have an individual meeting. Or if it's just a position like, hey, this guy's got a lot on his plate this week, maybe I can take them as well. So it's allowed me to do some other things, get some unit meetings ready. But the downfall is you don't get to really coach a position group, and I enjoyed that part as well.
Saying that, maybe moving some guys around into different positions, and we see Jaden obviously playing some corner now, which he did at Notre Dame, didn't so much last year, but Is that something that's fun to do to try to identify, the strengths of your potential defense?
Yeah, I think it is. It's fun because I think Jaden could have played, inside, outside. That doesn't really matter to him, I don't think. And he's a good enough player to do either one. But it's fun to be able to move a guy like that so we can see where do the other pieces fit. And when you're talking about that nickel, like what is his skill set? Is that more of a guy that needs to be in the run fit and he's more of a zone defender and can pressure? Is it more of a guy that is a corner type body and needs to play more man coverage and maybe not be in the fit as much? So just figuring out who these people are and what can they do is a lot of fun to move in that direction.
How have you found working with Terrence Brown? Just what you've seen from him?
Yeah, he's a really good football coach, very clear communicator. I like some of the buzzwords he's used, a lot of energy. I think he's very detailed in his individual work. So I've been super impressed with him so far. I'm really excited to continue working with him. And I think that a lot of the ideas or the concepts that he sees with defensive back play is the same way that I see it. And he's brought a few things. Hey, this is kind of the way I've done it before, which was a little bit of a departure from some things we were doing in the past, which is a good thing. Him being able to add some things to our package, even if it's not a different defense, just tweaking that thing and making it better. So really enjoyed working with Terrence so far.
What are some of those new things that he's introduced, whether it's at practice, scheme, can you say?
Well, I think that, just the way that he drills those guys, number one, is been a little bit new for them. And I don't want to give out too many specifics because some of that stuff will be scheme oriented, but just some of the ways to play some of the different coverages in the back end, even though they're not a new coverage, but a different way to play those things to make it better, different eye control, just different way we're handling some of the vertical routes, I think has been really good.
Spencer was saying last week, Bowen Phelps, he could be one of the better linebackers you guys have had here in a while. How have you seen him grow this offseason? Is he kind of approaching it like this could be his defense?
Yeah, I think he plays really hard. He's really physical. You're never going to get like a half-ass rep from Bo. He's still finding his way a little bit in the leadership department, quite honestly. And I think all of our guys are, you guys mentioned Jaden Mickey. He's growing in that leadership role too, and JVM and some other guys. So it's going to be I need to see those guys lead a little bit more through this spring, and it might even turn into summer. But I definitely think that Bo has the ability to be a leader on our team because of how he plays the game.
What do you evaluate when you look for leaders like that?
Well, number one, is it somebody that is not afraid to speak up, right? And then once they do speak up, like how do they do that? Like you don't need somebody that's just gonna like MF guys like every single time. Like the real leaders, they kind of know their team, and so that's like the relationship piece. Like, do they have relationships with the guys outside of their own position group? Because some guys need hard coaching. Some guys need to be taught what to do. Some guys, you got to put your arm around them and love them up a little bit. And so the really good leaders have been able to handle all those different groups. And it's not just, I'm out here to MF everybody, or I'm not always going to be PD positive either. So I think that, just evaluating the way that they handle their team is something that we're always kind of looking for and working through.
What are you seeing from the linebacker group in general, just and who are some of the guys in the mix right now?
Yeah, I think that we've got a athletic group. Just some of the pieces that got brought in have, I think upped the ante a little bit with athleticism. Obviously, Bo and Jake Ripp have played a lot of football, and Sincere has played a lot of football. Sam Brooks has been a guy that played a lot of special teams and got in some reserve for us last year. And then we just got a ton of new guys. Some of the freshmen have been really good. Logan Brantley's shown some things that he can do that are really good. Zaire Lewis is a freaking really good athlete. We just got to get him squared away with the schematics. But I like the ability in that room right now. They got a ways to go, just football IQ and knowing what they're supposed to be doing structurally, but I really like the athletic ability.
Going back to Bowen, so
You're good.
just going back to Bowen real quick, what are you looking for specifically out of him this spring, improvement-wise?
Just in his game. Yeah, I think that just, continuing to he's a good blitzer. He's good out in space and coverage and those kind of things. I think for him, diagnosing the box, just getting those reads a little clearer between that play action game and the run game, and then some of the other things that are happening within that, and then just his physicality within the box. He's a physical tackler. He's physical in space, but when he get in those A gaps, B gaps, and it's downhill, just improving that physicality a little bit.
I feel like last year, I asked you a question about game day or something. Your response is that you just really like practicing or watching these guys practice. That being said, kind of a two-parter. In the spring, it's different. You don't really have a game day as a reward for some of these guys. So what's the challenge of that? And then just how much do you like spring ball?
I love spring ball. I know some people don't like it because I really enjoy the improvement piece from a guy like Bowen, right? Even though he's done a lot of really good things for this team, how much can he improve? And then a guy that's maybe his first time, some of these guys should be going to their prom, right now. And you're seeing a young guy like that get out there on day one and eyes are big, and it's like there is no possible way that he's ever going to be a good football player. And 2 weeks down the road, we're like, whew, we got something. So I really love that improvement. And I always look at it like this, like practice, like those are my game days. Like in the actual game, like I need to create an environment for these guys to be successful and then get out of their way to some degree. Now, there's always going to be adjustments. There's always going to be things that we have to make within the game. But practice is when the coaches, that's when we have to play the game. We're playing with them. We're bringing juice. We're coaching through technique. We're coaching through scheme. We're making corrections on the fly because we're going to get that play in about 3 more seconds, and we've got to get that thing right. So I think we've got to be at our top of our game. Now, we've got to be at our top of our game during game day too, but practice, if we want these kids to really improve and really buy into what's going on, like we've got to be on it at all times during spring football, fall camp. So I think that's why I love it.
You mentioned that cornerback position with Jaden a little bit, but I mean, that's kind of the part of spring. So there's times where guys are getting healthy and you just don't have your full roster, right? So you lose McCoy, you lose Jeremiah. Sherrod Smith steps in, does great, but even you're without him. What is the challenge of trying to identify what you have at that cornerback spot right now?
Yeah, and I think what Sherrod is to some degree. Now, he's got a lot of improvement to make as well. And I think kind of we knew what we had with Jaden Mickey, and we'll continue to see. But, like, once again, the exciting piece is, like, if you are a guy that's a reserve player, quote unquote, because there is no depth chart right now is your time. Like you just said it. Like Jeremiah, Marion, they're gone. Sherrod can't practice. Jaden Mickey, he's moving to a new position. If you think you should be a guy, like now is the time. There's open competition. There's a clear path to being the number one guy. It's time to go. And I think that's like that a couple of positions on our team right now, offense and defense. So that's a really cool thing for me too, to see not only who can do it, but who really wants to do it. Like I see better than I can hear, and I know a lot of guys talk. Well, the opportunity is now, so let's go get it.
When you have somebody that is capable of playing more than one position, how do you weigh whether they're better at one or the other, and then whoever would play in either position, like where you take a hit or where you get the strength, or am I making sense?
Yeah, and I think that's a good question, Bob. But I think there's some positions where, like, they're so valuable that if you've got somebody that can do that, like corner, like if you got somebody that can be a lockdown corner, like it's pretty hard to move him, even if you've got somebody else. But most of the time, I think, like if you got somebody that can play two, what's the depth look like at the other one? So you're not robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? So you want to get the best 11 out there, not just necessarily, hey, he's a little bit better at nickel than safety. If it's just that and we got the next guy up we feel good about, let's move him, So I think it's a lot about what the overall depth looks like, and then is it one of those premium positions or not?
What's your thoughts on the D-line? Obviously losing Braxton and a couple guys. How are they looking through 2 practices?
Yeah, through like I said, for the D-line, like practice 1, I don't know. Like there's no pads on. Like I won't pat anybody on the back for that one. we need to have better eye control across the front. I saw a lot of guys peeking in the backfield. I know Coach Frazier and Coach Miley were on those guys pretty good about that. I do like some of those returning guys, though. I mean, shoot, David Latu, I think, can be a really, really good football player. Michael Madry's up, and this has got to be time for him, just like we talked about. Like, he's talked about, like, wanting his opportunity. This is your opportunity. Like you said, Braxton's gone. All those guys are gone. It's time to go. KO's played really good just in the first couple days. He's been out there and excited about some of these young guys too. Some of these freshmen have done some nice things, but it's going to be hard for me to get real excited about the D-line until we've seen some more padded practices, some more full contact stuff.
Pass rush, from the D-line, and the edge guys and stuff, was that where you wanted to be last year?
No, I always wanted it to be better. But I think we've done some really good work in the offseason. I know Coach Frazier's been harping it. Dimitri Washington's been really getting with those guys and working it. Coach Miley, I've been in there. So I think we've seen some things in practice, too, that we knew we needed to grow in. Now, once again, pads for one day, so let's not pat anybody on the back. But I have seen some growth in some of those areas that were stressed in the pass rush.
Do you see in guys like JVM who didn't quite have the sack production he had 2 years ago last year?
Yeah, I think sack production is always twofold, right? Some of that can be helped, some of it can't. Obviously when you lose a Ahmed, then a lot of the protection gets turned to the other edge. But I think that does only make you hungrier, make you want to not be complacent. I guess as you get through that thing, you have double-digit sacks, and all of a sudden your production dips. You want to get that thing back up because let's call it what it is. I mean, we all want to win. JV wants to win. Boise State's obviously big-time tradition of winning. We want to be back in the college football playoffs, but he also wants to play on Sunday. And if you want to play on Sunday, you got to sack the quarterback at that position. That's one of those premium positions, and that's what's got to happen. So I think that he is very hungry to get those numbers up.
Speaking of NFL, Braxton put up the 38 reps. I know he's a little undersized and stuff, but what do you make of his chances, and what do you tell scouts and stuff about why they should give him a shot?
Yeah, I think I think a lot of people that I have talked to were very impressed with his overall workout. Obviously, the bench press was, but I think his 3-cone and his short shuttle were also ranked very high within the combine results. And then the position work, I know some people very impressed with his movements. But things I'll tell people is, number one, you're not going to get a young guy that is ever going to loaf. He's never not going to play to his hardest. He's got one speed. He's physical. He probably fits in the NFL in more of a defense where you're getting upfield and penetrating because of his explosiveness and his movements. Also, super, super football intelligent. He knows what's going on in the back end. He knows dang near everything. So he'll be impressive to those guys when they talk to him. He's a guy that can play on special teams, and he is a team guy first and foremost. So you're getting somebody that you're never going to have to worry about. That's going to be a really good player in whatever role he's given. He could be somewhat of Scott Matlock. He can play that fullback position, play some teams, play some defense. But you're just getting a really good football player that cares a lot about the game.
What kind of chance do you think he's going to get? Will teams overlook the size and give him a shot? Or
from the guys I'm talking to, he's going to get a good shot. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means he's going to be drafted middle, late, free agent. I don't know what that looks like, but I know there's a lot of people that are very high on him that want to give him an opportunity in their training camp.
Last year you wanted more interceptions, and you got it. Is there anything on your to-do list? I know you're going to have different faces and different strengths, but is there anything you want to see out of the defense this year better, maybe at the top of the list from last year?
Yeah, I think just as we went through our self-scout, number one, you maybe not in any particular order, but you kind of hit it with interceptions. We got to get the ball out more from the ball carrier, because I think you have to ask Coach Frazier. He does it all, but we're a few turnovers, takeaways away from being in that top tier. So a few more punch outs, a few more rip outs, because we did do a good job with the interceptions, but we need to get the ball from the ball carrier more. Our run game defense has to get better, and the number one thing when we looked at everything on that is we need to tackle better as a team, period, point blank. If we tackle better, we are not that stats don't matter, but we're all of a sudden, once again, moving into that top tier of, total defense per game. Because if you take a look, just the missed tackles, the extra yardage after a missed tackle we gave up, if we just have those, even half of them, we're in a lot better shape. So we have to do a much better job of tackling the ball carrier. And then we're always looking for effort to the football. But I think those are the three things on the top of the list.
Kind of along those lines, Eric, I mean, like with limited contact in practice these days, and you're in spring ball, how hard is it to find like things that would improve and make you guys better tacklers?
Yeah, I think you're always looking for some new drills. Like we talked about earlier, we got Terrence Brown here, so he's bringing some tackling stuff that maybe is similar but phrased a little differently or a little different way to apply it or drill it. So that's good because I think a change up, even if your drills were good, when you change something up, if you want to make a change, is always a better opportunity. And then it's just finding a way, like what words can we use that are better? What ways can we do it better in practice to simulate the tackles? And I think Coach Danielson is going to give us a few more opportunities in spring to play some live football. I don't think it's going to go bananas and all of a sudden we're going to be live for 15 straight practices, but he's going to give us some more opportunities to tackle, which I think we need as a team.
When you go back, is it technique? Is it will? Is it effort? Determination? Like what?
If you go back and look through it, there's a few things that stick out. Number one, leverage on the ball carrier. Number one, just about every single one of our missed tackles, we targeted high on a ball carrier. We talk about the strike zone is the bottom of the numbers through the kneecaps. Okay, and just about all of our missed tackles were targeted high. So leverage, angles, targeting high, I think are the major culprits. That's why we've been harping so much, even on these first two practices, of body position when we finish.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.